Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So today, before we begin today's video that so many people asked me, which I didn't expect. So we're gonna do how I make a crystal mold. It's very simple. You guys can all do it. I have some Happy Mail first. Actually, before that, I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday to get some of the products for today's video. And of course, I had to buy a couple molds. Look at this cute little thing. Look how shiny that is. It was like $2. That was their normal price, $1.99, and you get all these little bows. So I thought those were so cute. I'm going to start making them as extras, or even for like the backs of your mica powders for colors or fronts or wherever you glue them to. So I got that one. And then look at this one. I do have succulent molds already, and I've never gotten rid of them. I made one big succulent planter at one point. These are small ones, so I think I'm going to just use this as some extras sometime. And when I get a whole garden full, we're going to make a nice big succulent planter again. I did get some Happy Mail. It says, "Hi Michelle, I had to send these your way. I love these little brushes. They're my go-to for painting mica on mold, especially on those tricky diamond cut molds. Carol Sanchez." Awesome, Carol. Thank you. Look at these little things. These are so nice and small. I have never seen these before. Carol, if you can, get me a link to these so I can share them, because I'm not quite sure I'll be able to find them. I don't know if I can scan this. 8-piece eye makeup brush. I'll try to find them. But look at how tiny those brushes are, so you're not getting powder everywhere. That is amazing. That is so cool. I think I'll be using those tomorrow. I also have some news for you. Counterculture DIY has given me a discount code. It is now linked with all my discount codes. They do resin. That's where I got that glitter scoops from when Teresa sent me the scoops bag. They're the ones that sold it. So for that, you have to follow their Facebook group is what I'm hearing, because they only do it maybe quarterly or something. But they sent me this big box of goodies to try out, and in it came a mat, a silicone mat. Look at that. That will come in handy when I need a silicone mat for sure. It is so cute. Very fancy. And it came with a bunch of different types of resins. Now I have to learn their resins. I do use their, which one is it? Fast setting. This is the one that I use for tumblers. I don't use anything else really for tumblers. This is my favorite one. It's quick. They're saying, I think 2 hours. They have a whole chart on all their resins, which I have to learn. This is their urethane sealer, which I love. I have a couple bottles of this. I seal my tumblers between coats with this stuff, and alongside of their resin, I have never gotten fish eyes after I started using the sealer. This is easy. You just spread it on like water. You don't even need a glove, but you know, wear a glove because your hands will get sticky. But it's not like toxic or anything. You just put this on between coats of your tumbler. You can even sand it down, but it works so well with this. It also came with UV resin, 4 ounces. Let's see what that looks like. And we'll have to do a video on this. UV resin, this is a pretty big bottle. Cures hard, no sticky residue. Okay, that's cool. This one is medium viscosity. Cures to the touch in 24 hours. This is just a sample package. You can get much larger bottles from them. And then this one says Counterculture DIY Artist Resin will produce a crystal clear glass-like finish that enhances and protects your work. Resin cures to the touch in 24 hours. This one must be like a thinner viscosity. Like I said, they have a whole chart on their resins. I don't know the differences. I know the ins and outs of Let's Resin. I could tell you anything you need to know about that resin, because that's my go-to resin for everything. But I am so happy if you guys like Counterculture DIY. You can now use the discount code in my description box and save yourself some money on that. So that's super cool. I'm going to actually use this one, my favorite, the fast setting. today. So let me move the rest out of the way and grab my stuff. Today we're going to crystallize this. I've been wanting to do it since February for Valentine's Day. I just never got around to it. So I purchased this bowl at Hobby Lobby back in January. I meant to do exactly what I'm going to be doing today to it, and I just never did it. And then I'm going to make a mold, and then that mold will be in the eBay store. However, like I said, it's pretty the way it is. It's shiny, it's matte. You got best of both worlds. But I wanted the inside crystallized. And this is what it, now I'm using the fast set. However, I have a 64 kit that is very old. It's yellowed. It's the exact same resin. It's going to work just fine. But since it's yellow, I guess I don't need streaks off of this. Since it's yellow and we're not going to see it, I'm going to use this one instead of the new one. I'll use the new one for something else. I've already got part A in my little cup. I wanted to make sure I could see through the side with it, so I just need to add part B. So you all are asking, what in the world did you use to crystallize? And let me grab the little things that I have to show you what I'm talking about. Right over here. So we made these. These are in the eBay store. And these are inlays. See all the crystals? And then the little ribbon, awareness ribbon was crystallized, and I made a crystallized trinket dish. And you guys are like, what did you do? What did you use? How did you get the facets? Today's the day. But if you want these, they're in the eBay store. I should use these pretty soon and do a video on them as well, because a lot of people don't know how to use inlays. All I used, I went to Hobby Lobby and I came across this diamond crystal crushed glass. This is 8 ounces for $4.50. And they only had 3 on the shelf, so I took them all, of course. And that's all I used. See all that crystallized in there? It's pretty basically crushed glass in shards, not necessarily like the crushed glass that we use for the inside of blooms or whatever. These are like shards of glass which give off more light. So all I'm going to do, get that out of the way, I'm going to mix up the rest of this. I got to be fast because, like I said, you need to work quickly with the fast set. I know that from past experience on the tumblers. I'm just going to mix up 1.5 ounces. And like I said, you can use your yellowed resin. You just want to make sure you're coloring it or maybe using it for black, because you're not going to be able to use it for clear anymore. I'm just going to mix this up. So we're going to go all the way through. I'm going to mix it. We're going to make the mold. Well, we're going to make the original, the master mold, and then I'm going to have Don make me the silicone molds. Maybe I'll have him show you how he does it again in case you're new here and you've never seen him make a mold. We've got a whole live on it. It's very informational if you're new to making molds. Check out that live. You'll see the thumbnail with me and Don, and it was really informational about all the different silicones. He shows how to make the mold, and then we pour it. It's a big thing. But we could do this one too. He likes his screen time. So once this is cured, we will go ahead and make the silicone mold out of this. I did check to make sure we have a mold housing to fit that. Now that's the only thing with making molds. You have to have a mold housing. You could buy one of those kits where you could build it. You can make it out of cardboard. You can make it out of acetate. You can make it out of whatever you want. Just make one. We make them out of, well, I have a 3D print guy because I still have not gotten around to picking a 3D printer to make them ourselves, but we have a guy, local guy, who I just give my specifications to. He makes them, and then I just buy them off of him because they're used over and over and over again on a daily basis. You could even buy like PVC pipe depending on how round or whatever you want. We use some PVC piping too, and I think the biggest we can get on Amazon was 5 inches maybe, but I don't know. You can use that. Don slices it with his saw, and we have all these slices that we do the small rounds, kind of like this. We use PVC pipe. But when we're doing stuff like this or the crosses, we have them made to fit the piece better, so we're not wasting a lot of silicone. And this is about it. I guess I don't need 1.5 ounces. I probably need less than 1 ounce, but I wasn't sure. And I didn't want to be, you know, wrong. We can use our new mold. I'm not going to debubble it, nothing. All I'm going to do is pour it on the bottom. I don't want to get it on the sides. I'm just going to spread it all over the bottom so you're not having... Yeah, I only needed half of that. Ah. So we're not going to get it on the sides, and you don't want like fish eyes separating. Because when they separate, then you're going to have this hole that doesn't have any crystals, which is not that great. Okay, that's it. Now, I'm going to just take this and dump it in here. And I'm going to put a lot. I'm going to put tons and tons and tons. Because I don't want it to sink when I'm not looking and then just be hidden. So I have been pouring a lot extra to make sure it's loose on the top, and then when it's completely cured, which this will be cured in 2 hours, then I'm just going to take the rest off and put it back into this container. See how it's kind of going clear again? That's because it's sinking into the resin. I'm just going to add it until it doesn't sink. And that looks pretty good. That's it. Now I just let it cure. So let's color this up, and I don't know, we'll make a few bows. But I got to figure out a color. I have to definitely debubble that because it's very, very bubbly, seeing that I hand mixed it. Let's just see if I can get cotton candy to work in here. And I don't even know if I have enough time to put it in the vacuum chamber, but I'm going to try it. I don't know if this is going to cover up the yellowing. Yeah, it covered it up. I'm going to put this in the vacuum chamber, see how it does. It's still kind of thin, which is good. That's what we want. So let's see if it'll work.
Glitz and glitter, lighting up the night. Painting dreams with a shimmer so bright. Rhinestones dancing, catching every eye. This is my moment, gonna touch the sky. Dipped in gold with a stroke of flare. Diamonds shine in the midnight air. Glue and gems, they're my magic spell, turning the ordinary.
I had to change cups. Did you see that? Oh my gosh, that stuff was needing so much space to expand. I'm just going to pour all these, and I probably have a little extra because these are, the biggest one is in the middle, but they don't take too much. I might even need to drip it in. And I'm just going to start hanging on to bows and things to use for the little characters or whatever if you need a bow. They have a really tiny one if you want to use it for your examples, like I said. Oh my gosh, this is going to take me some time to drip it in this little thing. And if I have any left, I'll stick it into a succulent, I guess. And I'll keep a box of succulents going until I have enough to make a nice, decent pot. I haven't made one for a while. I loved making that. It came out so cute quite a long time ago. That was a couple years ago, actually. Just want to dome them so we don't have to trim these. I couldn't believe they were only $2. They really lowered their prices at Hobby Lobby in the resin department, I noticed. I don't ever usually buy resin stuff from Hobby Lobby because they never put anything on sale in that department. But I noticed since they don't put anything on sale, maybe they weren't selling it much, so they decided to really lower the prices on all their stuff for a normal price. Because this was only like $2 and the succulent one was only like, I don't know, $3.50, $4 maybe. Which is not bad at all. There's this little one right here in the center. I don't want to over pour it either. It's getting sticky because it's been out quite long. I'll just get all these filled. I'm not sure we need a pink succulent. Maybe I can change the color. Oops. See, I don't want all that mess. I don't want all the mess, but I don't have a lot of time to be cleaning this one because I want to pour the other one. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to have to clean it later. So where is the succulent one? Where did I put it? Put it somewhere. I was going to change color, but I don't know what to add to pink to get green. I think green and pink will make brown, and I really don't want a dead succulent. I'm just going to fill this little tiny one. And it's so thick. You definitely need some alcohol in there to make sure it goes into all those little crevices. And if it doesn't look good, it doesn't look good. It's okay. Plants are not perfect, or I don't have to use it. There's that. Do I want another pink one? Or do I just put it in something else? I don't think I want another pink succulent, to be honest with you. Let's just leave that as it is. I'll throw this into a pendant of some sort. We'll just do a pink heart. I don't like to waste anything. I could also put it into my giveaway mold. This is really, really thick. The fast set, you gotta be quick. But the nice thing is it's fast. So I may be using this after my Promise is gone, since we can get a discount on it. I've never reached out to Promise Epoxy to see if I can get a discount code from them or not. But I could try. It doesn't hurt to try. What's the worst they can say? No, we don't know who you are and we're not interested. I do like the 1 hour fast set though. I wish Let's Resin would make that. Okay, that's good. I guess if I just get a spatula, I could get one more. Just one more. Since I'm doing it anyway. Whoops, let's do that one. So gooey. This is like drip material right now. If you ever want to make drips, if you don't want to use the cornstarch to make your resin really thick, you can get this one or this fast set. And I don't think I have enough to fill. I would be very surprised. And make your honey drips on like that Let's Resin honey pot jar. This is a good one to do. I never thought about fast set. But I have used cornstarch in a video, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, to thicken it up. And I also have some of Let's Resin's old formula that they don't sell anymore that is thick right out of the bottle like that. So you can do drips and things. Okay, that's it for this. I'm going to let that cure. And then as soon as Don is available, I'll let him show you how to make the mold. Okay, it is done. It is cured. It's ready to come out. Let's do the extras real quick just to show you. Oh, wow. No bubbles. For as thick as that was, that is really pretty. Even with the yellowed resin, it's pink. So that's pretty good. Good to know. You can use yellow resin. Solid as a rock. So those are cute. I will get bales on those. Let's check this one out and see what the little thing looks like. Oh, look at that. That's going to be adorable. Tiny little succulents. We're going to make a succulent garden. I'm going to get a cup right now so I can start collecting my little succulents. Oh, I probably need a picture of that for you later. So that's going to be on my table. We'll probably pour more once we do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a napkin and we're going to dump out the excess. And the reason I put excess on there, trust me from experience, you want excess on there, because when I didn't put excess on there, there was some missing. So I just take a brush that you don't use for anything else except wiping out glass or dust. That's what I use this brush for. I'm just wiping all the loose stuff out of here. And you could possibly get a piece or two in your mold. So look at that. That just created us a beautiful bottom to our tray. And I'm just going to take this. I am not wasting this. And we're going to put it right back in the jar. All right. Oops. Just going to keep this for the next thing because I'm pretty sure I will have plenty of sparkly stuff for you guys to choose from. And I've already working on the video using these is inlays tomorrow, so make sure you come back tomorrow. It is so easy. You guys are going to be, if you've never used an inlay, it is super easy. So check out tomorrow's video. You're going to want to see that. But this is our master mold now. And the outside is wood, which I understand, and I kind of picked it so we can have matte and we can have sparkly on the same finished piece of resin. So we're going to try it. Let's get Don involved and let's let him walk us through the process. If you've never made a mold, if you have, you can fast forward. It's okay. I understand. Because we've made plenty of molds on this channel before. But if you're new or if you want to sit back and watch, just join us and we'll get that done real quick and then we're going to pour it. Okay, Mr. Glitz is making his mark on my new mold. Not that kind of mark.
Oh.
What are you doing?
I'm going to make this mold. So what we're doing, I've already mixed it up. We're using a 15A because this is going to be an easy mold to some, like this shell, that's going to be a different silicone. So I can't use the 15A on that. It'll be too hard to get out. But like my coaster and stuff like this, that's all going to be the large. So
he calls it large. It's just a large bottle. Don't go by what he says. When he says large, he means 15A. When he says small, it's 0A because 0A only comes in little tiny bottles. So now what you doing?
I was doing what I was doing a couple minutes ago. I'm gluing it down.
So we just use hot glue. We hold the piece down to a piece of regular everyday copy paper.
You want to make a mold that's not going to give you too much excess in there.
Yeah, we don't want to waste. I didn't have one made for this one. Like I said, this has been sitting around since January waiting. We didn't have one made, but if it's popular, I will have a heart-shaped mold housing made because right now I'm going to be wasting some silicone on this one, but this one is for me anyway. I always get the first one. And you really want to let that glue cool down. Otherwise, the silicone will seep under it. It will leak. And you will not be happy. And then once this is cured, we're going to pour it.
And what we just found out, I don't know why, but the smaller Gorilla Glue sticks that I use, I never have any problems. We ordered these longer glue sticks, and I found that if I'm too close to where my silicone's going to be, I'm getting uncured silicone.
It inhibits the curing. It's called silicone poisoning when your silicone does not cure.
So let me see.
So
you go ahead and pour
you gotta stick to Gorilla Glue. It's okay to do the mold housing in with those ones, but you don't want to do these small pieces that we have and ruin the edge of your piece.
I don't think I'm gonna need that much in there. So
Well, I hope we have enough silicone for the tray. If not, he's gonna have to make more.
Nope.
How much did you make?
60 ounces.
By weight, not by volume.
It's 4:45, so I only got 15 minutes left, and I'm on.
You'll be done. Don't worry. Doesn't take long.
I'm off for the day.
I think you're just starting actually today. You haven't done anything.
Why?
Because you weren't home.
Where was I?
You were busy.
All right.
Okay, wait. Let's wait till that glue hardens up. And here we go. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
We are going to have ourselves a crystal mold today. It only took 3 months. And it's way past Valentine's Day. And how do you do your little sticky there thing?
Well, that's how thick I want the...
You're holding it too high. There we go.
That's how thick I want the silicone on top. So I come in here.
And how high is that, they're going to ask me?
It's roughly a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. It really depends on what you want. If you're making molds, you make them as, as thick as you want.
That's about the perfect, so it's not too thick. You're not wasting silicone on the back. He's just blowing out the bubbles. So was that the perfect height in that little sticky thing that we didn't notice? So, yep, he got it perfect. Now we just wait for curing.
Say that again?
He got it pretty good. Blow those bubbles out so we can watch. They're not all gone yet.
I'm getting lightheaded.
We just blow the bubbles
It's going
out.
to keep making bubbles because of all your little crystal things.
Yeah,
so
well,
it's going to be a couple minutes.
Maybe a couple minutes. So this is just going to sit
go-
for a couple of hours.
I'm going to go grab a couple more things to
We've got
use
some
that up.
silicone left over, so we don't waste silicone in this house. It's always getting poured in something. So I think I'm going to have him make some crystal inlays with some of this for you guys. All right, be back as soon as this is cured. It's been several hours. I let it sit on the counter and cure naturally. And then once it was cured and solid, I did put it on the heat mat for like an hour just to make sure it's completely solid and ready to pour, because I'm going to pour it today. Generally, you should wait 24 hours, but for sake of video, and I'm not going to. I just pulled it out of the mold housing, pushed it through. I'm just going to trim off the excess. I just use these little trimmers that come in the 0A kits and just trim it the best that you can. That's all you can do. And then you have to be very, very careful around here. Every once in a while, I will make a mistake. And if it's not, if it's just an ugly mistake, but it won't affect the actual mold, I do sell them as bloopers. But if it affects the final outcome, I can't do anything with them. I think I have a couple bloopers left on the eBay store that never got snatched up. They are discounted. But like I said, it's not like a detrimental mistake. It's just a mistake that doesn't look nice. Okay, so I'm just going to slice in here. I try to do the trimming before the piece comes out, depending on the piece. And if I've done this thousands of times, Don still can't get it perfectly, so I basically do most of the trimming in the house. He'll do the edges, but he doesn't yet feel comfortable doing the inner portion because he doesn't want to waste any silicone. And so I do a lot of trimming. You have to get used to it. Just be really careful. Make sure you're not trimming parts that should not be trimmed. That can be a problem, and you can waste the entire mold. If you're doing a jar lid, this is the biggest problem people do. They're making a jar lid, there's a lip on it, they'll pull the jar lid out, and then they will trim that lip right off. And then you have a solid piece with no lip to sit inside the jar. So be very cautious on what parts you're trimming and what parts don't get trimmed. Like I said, I've ruined my fair share of silicone molds. I try not to do it very often anymore, but we all learn. That's how you learn. And trust me, you won't make that mistake ever again. Okay, so there is the trim. It looks pretty good. This is that glue we were talking about. See how it's shiny here around that glue area because there was silicone there? That will never cure. That is uncured silicone. This glue has something in it, kind of like UV resin does. You cannot silicone over UV resin for, gosh, 6-8 weeks at least. Okay, I'm just going to pull this out carefully. You don't want to touch inside your mold. It's still a handmade mold. Hear that crystal coming off? And then I'm going to pour. And we will have our, I'll be making a second, I don't know, see how it comes out. But we like to have more than one master mold, so I will try to make, there you go, try to make a couple master molds And to do that, I'll use the pressure pot. There's going to be some extra glass in here right now because I probably didn't get it all out. Okay, it looks good. Good, good, good. Maybe I won't make a, I don't know, I really should make him a second master mold. So in the perfect reality, these portions of silicone would not have been poured. So I think I will have my 3D printer guy go ahead and make me a mold so I'm not wasting all that silicone. So I don't know how much this is going to hold. Get that little piece of silicone out. Oh no, that's a piece of glass. Like I said, be careful. You do have little glass pieces that got pulled off with the piece here. There's a couple pieces. Now, I've had this crystal stuff for ages, probably 3 years. And the reason I've never used it is I bought it to go inside my resin when I didn't know any better. But if you put this stuff inside your resin, it completely disappears and you don't see it because it's basically clear glass. So I learned that the hard way. It's been sitting here for, like I said, 3 years, not knowing what to do with it. Okay, so I'm just making sure everything's pretty good here. Getting all those little pieces of glass out. And there might be some more in here, but I'm just going to let them sit. I don't want to be poking around too much because I can't tell what's glass. If there is any glass. Oops, see, there's a piece right there. There's a piece right there. And you don't want any glass getting in your pieces, so be very careful. There's a few pieces in here. Well, that's silicone. Here's a piece right here. So you can pick around the best you can. You don't want that in your product that you're selling. Here's a little one. I tried to brush it all out, but clearly I did not brush it all out. So I don't know how much this is going to hold. Let me get some resin mixed up. I pulled out Sweet Cherry for a red heart. And again, this is going to be matte. That's going to be shiny. See another little piece here. So I apologize if you guys got one of my very first molds of this and there's a piece of glass I missed. I hope I'm not going to miss any. See, there's a piece right there. I'm going to just take that piece right off. A couple shards left over. Okay, I'll do this off camera, make sure the best I can. I don't know, I'm going to start with maybe 6 ounces. I really don't know. I don't want to test it with alcohol this early on because it's literally not been but several hours here. Okay, let me grab some resin. Let me show you what I'm doing. I was doing it off camera. I want this to fit in my small pressure pot, and this is the base for it. It didn't quite fit. I mean, it'll fit better now. It was pushing up against those posts. So if you ever want to trim a silicone mold, get yourself a nice good knife, a good sharp knife. And I'm just basically trimming. I want to keep about 1/2 inch around this whole entire thing. And I'm just cutting. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just cutting it and keeping that 1/2 inch around the edge so we don't get too close to the actual mold part of it and ruin the entire mold, because that would be no good too. But I was like, oh, they might want to see this, so I brought you back. So we have 2 chunks. If you'd make molds at home, I don't do this because I sell my molds. You could chunk this up into little tiny pieces, stick it in the next silicone mold. It'll adhere perfectly to this silicone, so you can reuse silicone. You just can't melt it down. So just cut it into little pieces, and then you can put it in your new mixture. There we go. That's much better. So I didn't like the way it was sitting. Plus I have a piece of, this is acrylic, so resin just peels right off of it. So you want to make sure your pieces are level when they're going in here, because that doesn't help either. The rest is on my table. So we've got a level pot now. Just get that piece off. Okay, now I'm going to mix up some resin. I ended up mixing up 8 ounces. I was thinking 7, but then I was like, I don't want to do another ounce if I don't get it right, so I'd rather have extra. Watch, it'll be 9. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Okay, so let's just drip in some of this just to give it a color, just for some interest for the sake of the video. But like I said, it doesn't have to be a color if you're making a master mold. It's just a backup if we break one or if we get too many orders at once. We can make a couple at a time so we can get them out the door a little faster. Sometimes when molds get really, really popular all of a sudden, we need more than one master for them so we can get them out to you guys as fast as possible and we don't get backed up here. Wow, this is a really pretty red. I don't know if I've used this one. I might have used it one time. I like it. That is pretty. This is the octopus ink from Laura's Art Corner. Make sure you guys are utilizing all the discount codes, especially since I've added that counterculture DIY one. I know some of you shop there, so now you can save another 10% on top of that. Okay, so I think I'm going to spritz that because of all those facets. I'm not putting it through the vacuum chamber because it's going in the pressure pot. We're just going to pour it in, fill it up. Oh my gosh, did I get it right? Yes. It's a good thing I made up 8. Look at that. I don't want to go past that trim line, really. Let me just look from, oh, I have enough space to scrape, so 8 ounces. If you get this mold, it's 8 ounces. Look at that. What a good guess. I'm so glad I added that ounce that I wasn't going to add. So the pressure pot are going to get all those bubbles out for me, which means I cannot unmold till tomorrow, which is fine. I am not in a hurry. Okay, let's get this under pressure. I'll see you tomorrow. It is ready to demold. I've got all these finished up. No big deal, just added the little pinch bales. Got that ready. Let's get these little things out to see what they look like. Look at how shiny that is. If you guys have a Hobby Lobby, you can grab one of these for like $2. Look at how cute. I'm going to have a whole little thing full. Oh my gosh, they're so shiny. They're so adorable. That one's pretty big. So you might want to use that for, oh, there's a flaw. There's a flaw. Where? Yeah, right in the mold. Right there in the corner. So I guess that's what you get for $2. These are adorable. I love them. If I make too many, I'll just start throwing them in eBay packages. See what we got. Oh, they're so cute. They're going to be good for characters. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to the main event here. I left it in the pressure pot overnight. I didn't put heat on it or anything. Let's get this out and see what it looks like. There we go. There it is. So I'm not loving the matte alcohol ink, but I think we'll do this again and maybe paint so the inside is nice and shiny. You can always spray seal it if you do the alcohol ink and don't like the frosted look. But maybe if we paint it with, see there's a little flaw right there, but that's permanent because that was on my master. But I guess if you cover your edging with something, it won't make that big of a difference. I think that's a piece of glass that came out that wasn't, yep. So that, all the glass should be out now. I thought I got it all, but I guess I missed a piece. Here's a little piece of silicone. That's normal when you use one of these for the first time. So get that glass off. That one. Other than that, look at the sparkle. Here's another piece. Silicone. That is how you get a crystal mold like that. Is that? You can kind of tell because it's like, well, maybe that one's not. That one is. Okay. I'll mess around with that. But maybe I will... Well, actually, this one's going to be a... This one's going to be a master, so I really can't do anything to it. But when I pour it again, I will probably put rhinestones around that edge. Anyway, we can do the edges, not necessarily this portion, because that's shiny right in here, but just the edge, all the matte parts. It would look probably really good in mica powder, because matte looks really good in mica powder. But that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to finish this one. Like I said, this is a master mold. If you don't mind that little flaw right there, I can't change that, unfortunately. Oh, you know what I can do? I can change that. I'm going to go grab the other master, and I'm going to top coat this with some of that fast set resin. So that way only the edges will be matte. I think I will do that. I'm going to trim this, and then I will top coat that. Let me go get the other one. Before I put it on there, I'm just going to clean my edges. I did trim it and wash it down with soapy water, but I do want to go over with alcohol the edges just in case. Just in case I touched it with my hands or something. Get anything off that may hinder that resin from sticking or separating. I just mixed up a ½ ounce of Quick Cure. Let me just get these pieces out. That should be okay. I'm going to do both of them because if I could do it permanently, that would be great. And then that mold, I'll just keep that one. Obviously, I keep all of them anyway. Let me clean my knife off here. Or clean my scribe off. So hopefully it won't go over the edge. This looks pretty good and clear. I don't know how long I have to do it. I just want to drip on these edges. That's it. I don't even need it like bubbled up or domed or anything. So I'm just trying to get that, first of all, to get rid of the matte. And then to get rid of the flaw that's in the original piece. Hopefully I can get it on before it starts setting up. I might have to mix up another ½ ounce for the other one if I don't work quick enough. So I'm just going to concentrate on this for a couple minutes and get these done and cured. They are all finished. They're nice and cured up. I threw some chrome powder, magenta, in the extras while it was getting really thick. And all but this one bow that has a bubble right there came out so pretty. Look at that color in there. That's so pretty. I love them. And these are done. So now we just make a new master. It's nice and solid. I don't want to mess around too much. It's only been like an hour, but it's definitely cured. So yeah, I'll probably have a mold housing made, so I'm not wasting all of that silicone before I put these on eBay the best I can. So if they're not on eBay yet, they'll be coming. Anyway, I'll get you guys some pictures. I'm not sure how many pictures I could possibly get, but there'll be a couple for you. I hope you guys join me tomorrow. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you then. Have a blessed day, everyone. Bye.
Glitz and glitter paint her way. She lights up hearts come what may. With a brush of faith she starts. Jesus whispers through her art. Patience blooms in every hue. Her love for viewers shines so true. Shimmer sparkles in her eyes. A radiant soul under bright skies. Glitz and glitter, Michelle, a story. Her colors tell faith and love in every part. Jesus guides her shining heart. Canvas dreams and sparkly streams. Her laughter flows like sunlit beams. With each stroke her spirit sings. A masterpiece of golden wings. She sprinkles joy like morning dew. In every shade a promise new.